What's going on, guys? It's your boy Los here, and welcome back to the Frunk Club, where we discuss all things Tesla. If you're watching today's video, then chances are you're sick and tired of your car feeling like a sauna anytime you step on inside. Because let's face it, our panoramic roofs are absolutely amazing, but they let in a lot of heat and sun. And if you live in a hot state like I do here in South Florida, where it's summer 365 days a year, then that feeling of sweating the moment you sit in your car gets old pretty quick. But don't worry, because our friends over at Hansshow have a product designed for the Model 3 and Model Y that solves that problem without depleting your battery like the cabin overheat protection does. So let's go ahead and unbox it, check it out, get it installed in my Model Y, and show you how it works. So come join me. All right, guys, so as you can see, UPS already helped me unbox it somewhat because this box completely came destroyed. But what we have inside, of course, is our sunshade along with some other accessories that they included. So let's go ahead and finish unboxing this and see what's inside. All right, guys, so this is what's included inside of the box. You have your voice-activated sunshade. They've provided a snaking tool to make our wiring process a little bit easier. We also have a blue bag here full of hardware, which includes some 3M finishing tape that we'll use towards the end of our install. Not one, but two Phillips screwdrivers. However, one is longer than the other. We do have a pair of white gloves so we don't get anything dirty inside of the vehicle. Our wiring harness that'll go from our sunshade to the harness of the cigarette lighter inside of our trunk, which I'll show you guys how to do here in a second. We also have our two brackets for the front of our sunshade. The two for the back already come pre-installed. We also have a pry tool, some electrical tape that they've included. We have our screws, and as I mentioned before, this is a voice-activated sunshade, so it also comes with all the voice commands that you can use on the actual sunshade itself. Now, I'm super excited to get this thing installed in my Model Y because, as you guys can see, it is super bright out here, super sunny and hot. So this thing couldn't have come at a better time. So let's get this thing installed in my Model Y. Let's do it. So now it's time to install this bad boy. And the first thing you want to do, of course, is put your seats down here in the back so we have a decent amount of room to work with. And that can easily be done by pressing these two buttons right here. Now, we're going to want to go ahead and remove a little bit of this seal right here, because the reason we want to do that is because in order to plug in our harness, we're going to want to go ahead and access the back right here, because our harness or our plug for our cigarette lighter is right here. See it right there? And that's really all you're going to need to access, because we're going to remove this plug. We'll plug in our harness, and then this one will plug in to the female piece that the harness comes with. So you will not be losing any power in your cigarette lighter. We're essentially just going to tap in here in order to gain power for our sunshade. And then, of course, we'll run our harness up the side here and through our liner to the inside of the vehicle. So let's go ahead and get that done. Go ahead and grab your harness. As I mentioned before, you're going to want to go ahead and pull on this a little bit because we're going to be needing to get back here to run our cable. So while you don't need to remove the whole thing, make sure you remove enough so that it's easy for you to work. Now, grab your harness, as I mentioned before. We're going to go ahead and unplug this cable here as so. We'll plug in this one to the bottom of our harness like that. And of course, this one plugs in here as so. Now, we're pretty much done with what we need to do at this bottom end. So now we can go ahead and tuck these back in, get them out of our way. And now that we've done that, we want to go ahead and run this wire all the way up. Now, I'm going to leave it right here for now, because our next step is to grab that snaking tool that they provided. And from the inside of the car, we want to run that snake tool from here into the vehicle so that we can go ahead and, with that electrical tape they provided, we're going to go ahead and tape this up to that snaking tool and pull it through to the other side of our headliner here in the back. So let's get that done. So now we got to go ahead and run this wire, snake it through our headliner to get it to the other side. Now, the easiest way to do that is to use the snaking tool that Hansshow provided. Now, what you want to do is pull down on this. You'll be able to release some of these clips, as you can see here. It'll give you a little bit more room to work with. And then what I found to be the easiest way is rather than trying to snake it from here in, what I found is that if you go onto the inside of the vehicle, you can actually pull down from the side here and be able to snake it in from the inside out. And then once you do that, it should pop right out, just like that. Now we'll go ahead and grab ourselves our electrical tape that they have provided us. And now we can go ahead and with the electrical tape, you're going to want to go ahead and take this cable and we're going to tape it just like this to our snaking tool. And now we should be able to gently and slowly bring this through, pull down here, give ourselves some space. All right. And just like that, we've got the cable snaked into the inside of the vehicle. Let me show you what it looks like. And as you can see, here's where the cable came out. We're going to leave it just like this for now until we go ahead and bring in our sunshade, which will connect it at that point to the sunshade, and then we can tuck it all back into the headliner and get it out of sight. So now that we've got our wire in, now we want to go ahead and get our sunshade here into the car. Put it just like this. All right. And as you saw, guys, you want to have the motor towards the back. You'll notice which is the rear end because you'll also see your 3 clips that are already attached to the actual sunshade itself. So once you have it in here, here's our cable, which this is the cable that we're going to be plugging in to our roof once we go ahead and get this thing up and installed. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, guys, and once you have it here, what we're going to do is we're going to put the back in first. You see your 3 clips there. Those are going to slide in right into the groove here. And then once we've slid them in there, we'll be able to go ahead and grab this cable here, and that'll plug in to our cable that we have that we snaked through earlier. So let's go ahead and get that done. What we want to do is grab our cable. We're going to run that here. We'll plug this guy in right into the plug as you saw here before. Make sure that's plugged in. We can toss this cable now into the back and out of our way, along with the rest of this cable. Now, once we've done that, now we can go ahead and slide this in just like this. The clips will come right inside, guys. Once those clips are in, now we just got to go ahead and do the front. And that's going to be a 2-person job, so I'm going to ask my buddy Julian to help me do that.
All right, so the first thing you want to do, guys, is go ahead and grab the 2 brackets that came in the box. You'll notice that one of the sides does have a felt finish to it, and that's the side that you're going to want to put against the glass so that we don't scratch anything. So go ahead and put one on each side. It's going to go ahead and slide right through our headliner, right where the crack is. Put one on this side as well. And what you're trying to do is get them as close to the holes that are already drilled onto the frame. Now you want to grab that orange screwdriver that they included because it's magnetic. Grab your screw, push up on the headliner so you can align it, and then go ahead and start screwing it in. And this is where having somebody help you hold it up comes in key so that you can properly align the bracket.
Grab your other screw. And what you're looking for, guys, is you want to make sure that you line it up just like this. Sometimes you're going to have to push up and adjust just like that so that you line it up. Once it's lined up, you'll be able to screw it in just like I did right here. Now, once you're done installing it, guys, this is what it looks like on the inside with it open. As you can see, it looks pretty factory. And the screws, as you can see, you've got one screw here that we attached, and then we have the other one right here that we attached. And now what you'll do is this right here that they provided us, this is actually a cover that we'll put here if you want to. You don't have to, but this essentially goes along the whole top to kind of cover this whole section here. So if you want to do that, it's optional. You can certainly do that. If you don't want to put that on there, you don't have to. I'm going to go ahead and put it on just so it looks a little more aesthetically pleasing, but of course, totally up to you. And if you decide to install that strip, this is what it looks like once it's installed. As you can see, you no longer see any of that silver metal bracket. You also don't see any of the screws that we used. So it keeps it nice and clean, gives it a professional finish. And now that we're fully installed, all you got to do is press this button right here. And of course, there comes our sunshade. And now we have protection from the sun. Beautiful. And now that you're done, now pretty much all we've got to do is just put everything back. You want to snap in your roof back into place. Make sure that all of these little clips go back in like they're supposed to. Make sure that this grommet is back how it's supposed to, and seal the car back up. Once you're done with that, you're pretty much good to go. Now let me show you how this thing works. So now that we're done installing our sunshade, I wanted to show you guys a couple things. So obviously you saw we have our button right here that we can easily use to open and close it. But as I mentioned earlier in the video, this is a voice activated sunshade. So by easily just saying to it a couple of different prompts, you can actually get it to open, close, and pause. So let's go ahead and try that out. Hello, TT.
I'm here.
Open.
Open.
Stop.
Stop.
Close.
Close.
Open.
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 And I don't know if you guys can hear that, but it is super quiet. And now we can also go ahead and close it by simply just saying that word. And if I wanted to stop it, I can just say pause.
Stop.
And it'll pause anywhere I need it to pause. If I want to continue to close it, I can just say close.
Close.
Now, I don't know about you guys, but that's pretty damn cool. So there you have it, guys. Now you know what's in the box, you know how to install the sunshade, and you know all the voice functions that this thing is capable of. So if you're looking for a solution to keep your car nice and cool, especially during those hot summer months, then look no further than this voice-activated sunshade by our friends over at Hansshow. I gotta say, they've got a wide variety of parts and accessories for all Tesla model vehicles. So if you're thinking about hooking up your vehicle, head on over to hansshow.com and check out what they have in stock, because they have a lot for you to choose from. And if you use my discount code MrCMelendez at checkout, you'll save on all of your Hansshow purchases. Well, I hope you guys found this video helpful. If you did, make sure that you let me know in the comments below. And as always, guys, thanks for watching and thanks for joining me here at the Frunk Club. Till next time.